Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully we are able to come to you with this video today with no audio issues.
Facts. We'll begin with a little piece of news. I'm Norm MacDonald on SNL. A little news that came out at 3:33 p.m. today. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to see what you think.
Okay.
What comes to your mind? Mitt Romney. Do you know who Mitt Romney is?
Mm-hmm.
Who's Mitt Romney?
He ran, or he was trying to run for president.
He was.
Against Obama?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a former slickster Republican senator out of Utah. Supposedly squeaky clean Mormon. You know, that kind of a
what
thing.
What they say.
He is a rhino. So, Mitt Romney's older brother filed for divorce 4 months ago before his estranged wife plunged to her death from a California parking garage and tried to make sure courts awarded her nothing in the split, according to the documents. George Scott Romney, 81 years old, he doesn't look 81, I looked up their pictures, filed the case against his 64-year-old wife, Carrie Elizabeth Romney, on June 12th, citing irreconcilable differences. The document suggests Romney, a prominent lawyer, sought to make sure his estranged wife was awarded nothing by the courts. Skipping down, Romney was sought to terminate the court's ability to award support to either person, court documents show. So, I'm not going to get anything from you, but you're not going to get anything from me. Carrie filed documents requesting spousal support. Carrie's body was found at the base of Valencia parking garage on Friday evening. While it remains unclear if she fell or jumped, Carrie's body was found at the base of the parking garage. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office has listed her cause of death as deferred. The divorce had not been finalized at the time of Carrie's death. I wanted to see what deferred was. Deferred means additional investigation and tests needed before a final determination can be made. But Entertainment Tonight, who put this out, said that it... and the parking garage was she fell or jumped from the 5th. It was 5 stories high. She was at the top. So they say they don't know if she fell or jumped. But what about pushed? So what do you think about this?
Seems a little sus to me.
Right?
Just
That's
saying.
what I think too.
Especially if Mitt's like, you don't get anything.
Mitt's brother.
Sorry, Mitt's brother. Seems a little weird to me. I don't know.
Not only does he say,
especially
you get nothing.
If he's 81 and she's 64, like,
why
do you care? You're probably not going to be around for more than 10, 15 years anyway.
Because he wants all of his money. He wants to make sure she has nothing.
How long were they together before
they got married in 2016. So they've been married for 9 years. So he married her when he was 70. And she was 55.
If you're 70 and getting remarried, I would really hope that you have some additional wisdom when it comes to choosing a partner.
She looked sweet. I mean, I don't know anything about her, but she looked sweet. Looked like just a little thing, just cute. She looked like a cat. When you think of California girl, that's what she looked like. So,
doesn't make any sense to me.
I just wanted to put that on your radar.
How do you only be married for 9 years and you're like, irreconcilable differences?
But also, I've been in parking garages in California.
True.
How hard is it for you to accidentally fall out?
You don't.
I can see where I could have jumped from that slit maybe, but it's higher up. All the parking garages we were in California.
They all had like a 3-foot
at least
concrete ledge.
Yes.
That goes to like your
plus
waist.
Of course the top.
Yeah.
So like she'd have had to
get
climb
up on
up
there to
and
off.
jump out. Or, because she's a tiny little thing, picked up and thrown out, which is what I think happened. So anyway, wanted to put that on your radar for you guys to keep an eye out for. So we're going to watch a video. It's a really quick short. This gal is on, I think it's called Promethean Update, is the YouTube channel. And I am going to bring a longer version of her. I'm just letting you have a little taste. She has been following America and geopolitics since the 60s. So I'm guessing she's in her 70s-ish. And she knows everything about everything. And the way that she communicates it is just amazing. So this is just a little short, and I wanted Miranda to hear it, and I wanted to hear Miranda's reaction.
Let me focus on George Soros, the poster boy for globalization, one world government, green fascism, the whole apparatus. But I want to focus on the philosophy, because that's where the real battle is being fought out. Soros was trained by Sir Karl Popper, an Austrian who moved to Great Britain. Soros's open society concept came from the title of one of Popper's books. Popper mentored influentials on both sides, Soros on the one hand, various Austrian school economists on the other, in a typical British gang-counter-gang operation. Focus on one particular aspect of Popper's philosophy. It's his absolute hatred of Plato. Why this hatred? Because Plato believed in universal principles, and that those principles are discoverable by the human mind. This is antithetical to everything that the British system represents. Plato was 29 years old when Socrates was executed by the Democratic Party of Athens. And Socrates, like Charlie Kirk, had a passion for freeing the youth of his society from the false and failing ideologies which he knew would destroy Athens. So he was arrested by the Democratic Party and executed. They couldn't tolerate someone who taught people to think for themselves, to question the prevailing narratives, to discover truth through reason. But Plato picked up the mantle, and he provided us with his powerful dialogues which have helped shape the course of Western civilization. What we're witnessing right now is nothing less than the final battle between two completely different visions of humanity's future. On the one side, you have the British imperial system and their philosophical descendants, who believe that truth is unknowable, that human beings are just animals to be manipulated, and that power is the only reality. On the other hand, you have Trump's America, working with sovereign nations like Russia, proving that countries can cooperate based on mutual respect and universal principles of sovereignty and development. This terrifies the British because it exposes their entire system as a fraud. Charlie Kirk's crime was the same as Socrates. He was teaching young Americans to think, to question, to discover the truth about their country and their potential. He was freeing them from the ideological programming that passes for education in our universities. The British Empire is dying, and the real United States is awakening. Plato carried forward Socrates' mission. We all have a mission to carry forward, and Promethean Action is playing its role. So subscribe to our channel, become a member of Promethean Action, and join the fight for America's philosophical independence. The future of human civilization depends on it.
So, give me what you were thinking as you were listening to her. Any thoughts you had or any questions?
I think the thoughts that I had were just that it seems we just continue to repeat history. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we ever learn our lesson. as a human race.
We learn our lesson as long as we learn history. Did you know that Socrates was arrested by the democratic government and assassinated?
Nope. School taught me that they're just two philosophers, and that's all they told me.
Exactly. So. And you don't understand the importance of Socrates and Plato.
I didn't even know what the Socratic
Aristotle.
method was. They didn't teach that either. Because why would you?
Because they've taken the Socratic method away.
They don't want you to understand the Socratic method, because then you might use your brain.
And I trained up my children teaching them the Socratic method as a mother. And so when they can hide history from you, it can be repeated. And when I saw her put Socrates and Charlie Kirk together, my brain had never thought of that. But he was doing the exact same thing that Socrates was doing in Athens, for which he was murdered, for which Charlie Kirk was murdered. And I thought that it was pretty fitting to bring that today on Charlie Kirk's birthday. So
one of the things too that that I'm thinking about is, like, when you think about history and how it repeats itself and how the similarities are, like, uncannily close.
Yeah.
It just goes to show that the reason for those things happening, like, the constants are all the same. You know
evil
what I mean?
Stays evil. And good stays good.
Well, not even just on that level. I'm talking level of the lesser gods that are still around. Do you know what I mean? Like the Jezebel spirit being one of them. Yep. I'm talking stuff like that. Like, that is a constant.
Well, that's evil.
Right.
Those gods are still here.
Right. But when you say evil, that's not, in my opinion, broke down enough.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's evil, but what kind? Because they all do different things. They all have different objectives. Yep. But the objective is always the same.
Right.
And so they execute it the same way every time. And the outcome ends up the same.
And that's why it's important to know their playbook. Because you can spot their playbook. And when you know Socrates
their end
and
goal
Plato,
has never changed.
No, not at all.
It stays the same.
So the method which with Soros was taught under, once you know that method like she does, I don't, but she does, then she knows how it works and what'll happen. And I am excited to bring, we'll probably do that later in the week. It's a little longer video, but it breaks down how we got here and what it looks like, just not only for America, but the globe. So I just wanted to give you a little bite. Any other questions? Any other thoughts?
No, I think that's pretty much it. Just at some point, we need to learn our lesson.
Yeah.
That's basically all I have to say. It's like, let this be the time that we learn.
Amen.
Let this be the time that we don't forget and we don't allow it to be buried.
If we make it out.
Exactly.
You know?
And it's important that...
And I'll explain why in the coming week. I'll be bringing little bits and pieces to you.
It's important that true history is taught, because that's something that I've learned since being out of school, is that I was never taught true history.
Right.
And I've discovered true history through other things, like the biblical citizenship class that we took, the different videos that Glenn Beck has put out. There's just
self-taught.
There's a lot of various methods of learning after school that you see how much you just weren't taught.
And that's a shame.
And it's so sad. And the reason that I say that is not to be like, oh, public school sucks. No. Public school is captured. The teachers are doing the best they can with what they're allowed to actually teach you. So don't poo-poo on your teachers. That's not what I'm saying here. What I am saying is, until such a time that true history can be taught, you should be teaching your children yourself.
Amen.
That's all I'm saying. Like, you don't have to know everything, but you do need to find a curriculum that will teach what you need to teach.
Exactly.
It's not your job to be the best history buff in the world or the best math teacher in the world, because guess who's none of those things? Me. But guess who's going to do it anyway, because your curriculum will help you.
Yep.
And what I think is really cool and was something that I'm like secretly a little bit excited for is that I'll get to actually like relearn history with my children.
Yeah.
Through a true history perspective rather than,
and your children.
World War II happened and
the end.
The Revolutionary War, and like that was it. That was it.
The Louisiana Purchase, 1803.
Don't forget Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea, like,
or Sacagawea,
yeah,
when they change your name.
Sacagawea, and I'm like, I will never say that because that's not true.
Me either.
You can literally suck it because I'm not doing it.
And your children will be better knowing that you are learning with them, because you're going to be so excited about learning. You're going to be teaching them 10 times more.
Oh, yeah. And I'm really excited for George AI. Because that's going to be a huge teaching tool. I mean, I think it's probably just like U.S. history, I would assume. I guess we'll find out.
Oh, no. No. There's no understanding of U.S. history without an understanding of Western civilization and world history.
True.
You must know Socrates and Plato and Aristotle.
And for
all
those
the way
of you
forward.
that don't know what George AI is, it's something that Glenn Beck debuted at his Grand Forks appearance for Turning Point USA. Glenn Beck has the largest archive underneath, what did he say? There was a one institute above him that has more documents than he does, but he has the largest...
And artifacts.
Original founding documents archive that he has hidden away in mountains and things, he says. So these documents he has digitized and put into something he calls George AI, and it has like an electric fence around it so that there is no outside influence. It's only based off of the original founding documents, so that there is no, what he says, hallucinations.
And not just documents, it's important to understand.
Documents, artifacts.
In the last 4 years of Thomas Jefferson and John Adams' life, they were enemies almost up until that. But the last 4 years, they died on the same day, July 4th.
Which is so weird.
So weird. But that last 4 years, they sent letters back and forth to each other and spoke about their times as being presidents, their parts they played in the Revolutionary War, and the forming of our country with the Constitution. These were letters from one former president to another former president in the last 4 years of their life, when they didn't have their spouses anymore, but they had a lot of time to write. And those letters are also a part of George AI, or will be a part of George AI.
Basically, to sum it up, you're able to speak with AI versions of our founding fathers. The one that he showed us specifically was George Washington, but in like modern day people clothes, and you can ask them anything you want. And it is the coolest thing, because it also...
And asking them a question about how to solve something present day with the knowledge that we have from them back then. Hey, Thomas Jefferson, President Jefferson, how would you tackle this specific problem? And then you give him what that problem is, and you're going to get the answer from, as well as we can understand, what what Thomas Jefferson would have said about that. It's phenomenal.
And not only that, but it also has allowed them to basically bring our history into like movie format through these documents and artifacts and letters, etc. So you can watch in real time, like in real life, what it looked like. And you don't have to wait for a movie to come out. You don't have to wait for somebody to sit and direct it. Like, it is all based on what he has.
And then if you watch, like, Lexington and Concord, you can ask, hey, why did this happen? Who shot first? How many died here? What was the purpose for this beginning battle? What year was this?
Yep.
How many people were involved? How many British died and how many of us died? And all those answers will be there. So
and
you can ask history
they won't
about
be
history.
Politically influenced. They
Yep,
won't
he
be
says it's locked.
anything.
So that
it'll just be based in truth and documents. Nothing else.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited too. So that was a side note to what we were talking about. But the basis of that is teach your children.
Yes.
Just don't even try and send them to public school. My middle niece just decided to homeschool halfway through her school year.
As of yesterday.
Because of how bad things are getting in schools as far as like kids and being uncontrollable and just how bad it is on her mental health.
Yep.
And that's something that your kids don't need to go through.
No.
Your kids don't need to go through it.
So now my daughter is scrambling for curriculum, the money to pay for that. That's another thing, but we'll make sure that happens. We'll figure it out. It isn't cheap because she doesn't want Willow wants books. She doesn't want to just learn everything online, which I love, but that's more expensive, but we're going to figure it out. So tomorrow you're going to be hearing about the secret poisoning of Americans that China is doing every day in every state in America. So that's tomorrow. Tune in.
All right. Let's do our quick Bible verse and we will sign out. All right. All right, we are in 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Thank you.
Yep.
And I pointed to 25, which is the start of a section. And it says, questions about the unmarried and the widows. So we start in verse 25. It says, now, concerning what you wrote about unmarried people, I do not have a command from the Lord, but I give my opinion as one who, by the Lord's mercy, is worthy of trust. Considering the present distress, I think it is better for a man to stay as he is. Do you have a wife? Then don't try to get rid of her. Are you unmarried? Then don't look for a wife. But if you do marry, you haven't committed a sin. And if an unmarried woman marries, she hasn't committed a sin. But I would rather spare you the everyday troubles that married people will have. What I mean, my friends, is this. There is not much time left, and from now on, married people should live as though they were not married. Those who weep as though they were not sad. Those who laugh as though they were not happy. Those who buy as though they did not own what they bought. Those who deal in material goods as though they were not fully occupied with them. For this world, as it is now, will not last much longer.
Yes.
I
appreciate not having any troubles but mine.
I like being married.
We're in different parts of our life, though, sweetheart.
So why are they saying people shouldn't get married? That's weird.
Well, that's out of context. You have to go up above and down below. So that's just a little bite. If you want to learn more, you read the rest of that.
Well, there you have it.
Get your Bible, dust it off, open it up, and see why.
Or if you don't have one, you can just download the Bible app on your phone, and it'll bring you right to it.
Or I'll send you one. I send lots of people
Bibles.
Go.
There you go. Till the next one.
Bye.
Bye.